A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first snippet, in-house probe. There's one important expression here, in-house probe. SC seeks clarity on Justice Verma's actions. First of all, what is in-house? In-house training, in-house probe. In-house means, good morning to all of you. In-house means within the organization. Imagine I go to a particular company, I conduct training sessions in that company. That is known as in-house training. And here in-house probe. Probe means investigation, you all know. In-house probe means within the organization, not external factors, not external forces, but internal. Then we say in-house probe, investigation. Seek, you all know, to look for, to search for, and you're all job seekers. Very good. Someone wants to find out what is happening in others' lives, then we use the expression probing nature. Nobody likes probing nature. Coming to job seeker, what is the word for you people? Job seekers. Here, Supreme Court seeks something, seeks what? Clarity on Justice Verma's actions. You all know what happened. Bundles of currency notes were found and some of them half burnt. Regarding that, investigation is going on, in-house probe. And Supreme Court wants certain clarity regarding that. Coming to the next one, conversion controversy. Protests erupt, an important word. Conversion controversy. Protests erupt over arrest of Kerala nuns in Chhattisgarh. First, what is this conversion controversy? Converting people of one religion to another religion. That's what it means. Conversion controversy. Imagine people of a particular religion, they try to convert others of a different religion to that particular religion. That is known as conversion. Here you have to recollect words like missionary, missionaries, and also some people, they want to do something at any cost. Then we say missionary zeal, Z-E-A-L. Controversy, you all know. Protest, we have got many a time. Very good. Vishnu has come up. You should think of words like protest, procession, slogans, placards, crowd, run helter-skelter, chaotic situation, deploy police, all these. But in this context, the word erupt has a different meaning. Erupt, very good. Who is this? Bhimana. Erupt goes with a volcano, volcanic eruption. But here, eruption of what? Some clashes or some protests or some controversy. Protest in this context, protests erupt over arrest of Kerala nuns in Chhattisgarh. Place is Chhattisgarh. Those who got arrested, nuns, you all know brothers, nuns, they go with Christianity. They were arrested, and the controversial issue is a conversion from one religion to Christianity. That is the background information. As a smart learner, because it goes with religion, you have to recollect words that go with religion. We have another snippet, blow up also, you can recollect. Manisha, very good. And Divya says plunder, looting. Yes, whenever there is a clash or people get into streets, they try to protest, something goes wrong, haywire. Go haywire means what? Go off the track, go out of control. Then some people take advantage, they try to loot things from shops. But when it comes to historical backdrop, we use the word plunder. Every day we use the word looting, loot the shops. Remarks against officer. Someone must have made remarks against a particular officer. Based on that, Supreme Court questions nature of MP minister's apology. Nature of Madhya Pradesh minister's apology. Here, vandalism, very good aspirant. Vandalism, graffiti. These words also you have to recollect. When you see the word MP, our students know you should recollect the article that goes with rule that goes with articles. An MP, an SP, an MLA, all these FIR, X-ray, you have to recollect. But Supreme Court questions nature of MP minister's apology. Apology could be something like lip service. Lip service means what? You say something casually, you don't mean it. That means you don't. It is not something like walk the talk. What is the meaning of the idiomatic expression walk the talk? Walk the talk means you say something, you do the same thing. You do what you say, walk the talk. And some people talk very casually. They say sorry very casually. It is like lip service. Have you heard of this expression, lip service? Here it talks about nature of MP minister's apology, whether he really meant it, whether it came from the bottom of his heart, or it was casual thing, namesake, saying sorry. They wanted to know the nature of the minister's apology. Coming to the next snippet, role and status. Excuse me. Role and status. Medical limits for Ayush practitioners, consequences for India's public health. You all know when it comes to Ayurveda, that is a traditional form of medicine in our country, based on that the short form Ayurveda, Ayush, and it goes with whether their powers are limited or not limited. What is the impact of that on public health? A role and status, medical limits for Ayush practitioners, those who practice, consequences for India's public health. What is the impact of that on India's public health? Related to health, an important article you have to read. Here we have an important word. Many bank exam aftermath consequence ramifications. Very good, aspirant. I appreciate. Upheaval also you have to think. Upheaval has two different meanings. One meaning, natural calamity, devastating impact, and many houses or trees get uprooted, and large-scale destruction, upheaval. Another meaning of the word upheaval, a lot of people protest. Then also we say upheaval, something like revolution. Genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? Aspirant, very good. Side means killing. Genocide means killing people of a particular religion, a race, not religion, a particular race or community. Imagine on large scale, people of a particular race or community are killed. Then we use the word genocide. Imagine large scale, people are killed, but need not be a particular race or community. Then we use the word massacre. Many people have been massacred. Massacre means kill brutally, large number of people. Massacre is different, genocide is different. As a smart learner, you have to recollect words like genocide, patricide, matricide, fratricide, and also infanticide, feticide, pesticide, insecticide, suicide. All these words you have to recollect. What does it say? Painful moment. There's one important word here. Moment is different, movement is different. Movement. Some movement means some sort of movement in the person or thing's position. Change in the position, we say movement. But at the moment means right now. Moment goes with the time factor, movement goes with the motion. Both come under confusing words. Painful moment. Israeli groups call war on Gaza a genocide. Not outsiders. Israelis call the war. Israelis bombarding that region for so many, almost 2 years, I suppose. And because of that, a lot of innocent people got killed. Thousands, in fact, including children and women and old people. Based on that, within Israel, a particular group says attack on Gaza is nothing short of genocide. Genocide means killing people of a particular race or community. An important word they have given many a time in banks and both banks and SSC. I think that is the last one from the snippets. No news regarding sports. Now let us go to the main headline. Teachers have any side? Why do you want to know RBI Vijay? I don't think so. Focus on inclusion, not exclusion, Supreme Court tells Election Commission. This has been going on for some time. Backdrop information, Bihar elections. Based on that, Election Commission came up with the idea of submission of 11 documents, which is practically impossible, not pragmatic, and it has been in the limelight for quite some time, controversial. Based against that backdrop, Supreme Court says, look for inclusion, not for exclusion. Include as many people as possible to have the right to vote. Don't exclude as many people as possible. Based on that, focus on inclusion, not on exclusion. But when you see the word inclusion, you have to think of inclusive growth. This is an important expression for any third world country. Any third world country talks about inclusive growth because third world countries are developing countries. They have the rich, they have the poor, haves and have nots, and the disparity is too much. They try to bridge the gap. They want to go in for equality. In that process, they focus always on inclusive growth. What does it mean, inclusive growth? Including all the segments of the society, especially downtrodden people, underprivileged people, backward communities, marginalized people, grassroots level people. Then we use the expression inclusive growth. The reason for spending a minute on this, when it comes to essay writing, you have to use these words. These are known as power words: inclusive growth, standard of living, and world class infrastructure, state of the art technology. These you have to use, then you get maximum marks. Nothing to learn as such. Coming to the next snippet, NISAR satellite mounted onto GSLV for launch. In this context, mounted means a fixed. Mount has many meanings. In this context, attaching, fixing. But mount means to build up. Imagine I have a lot of pressure, then what do I say? Pressure is mounting on me, mounting pressure. We also use one expression, mounting work and pile up of files. A lot of files, then what do we say? Pile up of files. Work is mounting work pressure. These you have to recollect. Otherwise, nothing to learn. But I always tell students, sleeps, based on sleeps, what is the first letter? S, science and technology. Space technology is an important dimension, important sphere, important realm. Whenever you come across any news item, whether snippet or article or editorial, do spend some time and try to read all the articles related to space technology. India is doing extremely well. That is one reason. Already they have given many a time in different bank exams as a passage, close test, para-jumble, all about space. Space is important. Frontier. Coming to the next snippet, Mahayuti to allow friendly fights in some seats. It is about elections, allow friendly fights in some seats, perhaps election related. And TCS layoff points to huge churn in IT services sector. There is one important word, layoff points to what? Huge churn in IT services sector. Layoff we have got recently. Layoff means what? Remove from job. What are the other words you have to recollect? Lay off, get the pink slip, show the door, terminate services, all these. Coming to churn. Churn actually means to stir. What is the word you have to think of? STIR, stir. To shake something a lot. And churning, it goes more with buttermilk. You try to make buttermilk, that time you churn. And coming to in this context, what does it mean? Disturb, create some sort of confusion, a chaotic situation. Churn, huge churn in IT services sector. Things will change drastically because of it's not a small number, 12,000, huge. Imagine 12,000 employees losing jobs. It makes a tremendous negative impact on the company, on the services sector, on the individuals, obviously. It goes without saying. An important news item you will get, they have given many a time in the recent past, AI especially, rare talent, very good. Artificial intelligence. I remember I read about 5 years, I think. That time I remember, according to one study, because of AI and virtual reality, artificial intelligence and virtual reality, and also automation, Americans are 6 years ahead of other developed countries when it comes to technology. Other developed countries are 10 years ahead of third world countries when it comes to technology. But the US is a market leader. It is 6 years ahead of other developed countries. And according to that survey, it seems that 10 years down the line, one fourth of American workforce going to lose their jobs. One fourth means 25%. 25% Americans are going to lose jobs 10 years down the line, courtesy artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and automation. These three are going to play a vital role, and a lot of people may lose jobs. A lot of people have to learn the new skills, new skill set, and only then they can survive. Otherwise, they cannot survive. China is ahead. Okay. Who is that? Uday Kumar, I'm not quite sure about that, but generally speaking, China is doing well, but I don't think it is ahead of the US. Maybe in a particular area, but not overall. Overall, the US is the technology torchbearer. Who is a torchbearer? Torchbearer means one reason whatever China does, we never come to know. Rarely we come to know. It's like a closed thing. But the US, it's an open thing. And usually we say the US is a torchbearer of technology. Torchbearer means a leader, one who leads a particular sector in this context. Let us have a look at the pic, a beautiful pic. What do you see? What does it say? But before that, there's one more snippet. I'll read that one, then we'll go to the pic. Guns fall silent on the Thailand Cambodia front. We got the news item clash between Thailand and Cambodia because of Shiva temple. On the verge of war, but they stopped. They wanted peace. Peace, armistice, and also truce, you have to recollect. Now, based on that, they decided not to go for war. Based on that, guns fall silent on the Thailand Cambodia front. Means no war, no shooting, nothing. Fall, fell, fallen, one verb. But there's another verb, fell, felled, felled. What does it mean to cut? Cut what? Trees. They fell many trees in our colony last week. Wrong. You have to say they felled, Felled. They felled many trees in our colony last week. That you have to recollect. Now let us go to the pic, beautiful pic. You can see all these people. Harvest Festival. In the south, north also, Harvest Festival, a major festival because India, what is the backbone of Indian economy? Agriculture. When it comes to agriculture, obviously harvesting season, the most important season, and they do celebrate. That is known as Harvest Festival. All these people belong to a particular community. It looks like a hill station. You can see the mountains and a lot of greenery and dark clouds. Following traditions, people belonging to the Badaga community celebrate the Devabba festival at Kadanad village near Udagamandalam, that is Ooty, in Tamil Nadu on Monday. When we think of Ooty, we have to think of another tribal group, Todas. Harvest means to extract. You grow crops and you take the seeds or fruits, whatever, that is known as harvesting. Harvest means to take whatever is useful from the plants after growing the plants, after growing the crops. When you take harvesting, you can also think of the word reap. Because we take from the plants, from the crops, harvest, it is known as Harvest Festival. Now you have to recollect based on this all the words that go with religion, obviously. Already Vishnu has come up with related words. Have a look, comment box. And all these people, a particular community, which community? Badaga community, and they're trying to celebrate the festival. Let us go to the next news headline. Three hardcore terrorists killed in Srinagar, links to Pahalgam being probed. Three hardcore terrorists, they were killed. And the link between those terrorists and the Pahalgam attack, they are trying to investigate. Probe, being probed. Links to Pahalgam attack being probed. They are probing the links. The links are being probed. It is in present perfect What you sow, what you is what you reap. Very good. Who is this? Monica. Wonderful. Coming to this, they are they are probing something. Something is being probed. Which tense is that? Present continuous passive voice. That immediately you have to realize. Coming to the next one, Operation Sindoor will restart if need be. If need be means if the situation demands. If the situation demands, we are going to restart Operation Sindoor. Statement given by Rajnath Singh. IIP growth slows down to 10-month low of 1.5% in June. Here we have an important news item. It comes under current affairs. You may get a question. What is it about? It is about a chess World Cup winner. Teenager Divya outlasts. Outlast means be smarter than someone, stronger than someone. In this context, play better than the opponent. Teenager Divya outlasts Humpy, Koneru Humpy, emerges India's first Women's World Cup winner. This is something very important. A young girl getting India's first Women's World Cup in the field of chess, Women's World Cup winner. Who is that? Divya. An important current affairs bit you got to remember. Divya Deshmukh. Okay. Have they mentioned? Yes. Divya Deshmukh prevailed in the tiebreakers to win the Women's Chess World Cup in Batumi, Georgia on Monday. Prevail means to dominate. Prevail has two different meanings. One meaning prevailing conditions, existing conditions. Another meaning she prevailed upon the opponent. She dominated the opponent. Both the words are important. That's all from the front page of today's the Hindu paper. Let us go to the editorial page. Today's editorial is all about stampede. An easy one we have got so many times. I have done many a time editorials on stampede. And this, almost all the words are familiar. And based on this, you can recollect a lot of words that go with the context. And you can easily guess what happened, where it happened, how it happened, what is the role of the government, what does the law say, what are the rules and regulations we have, do we have rules and regulations in place, are they being implemented, and what is the solution to prevent similar incidents happening or recurring incidents, how to stop. It's all about that. Culture of risk. What is this culture of risk? Nowadays, any religious congregation, any important festival, a lot of people go there. This has become a sort of trend. Thousands of people visiting a particular religious place on the eve of a particular occasion, on the eve of a particular thing. And this has become sort of culture. And it says culture of risk. What is the risk involved? And it talks about the notion of a routinely planned mass gathering should be done away with. An important expression here. Should be done away with. But what should be done away with? The notion. Notion means idea. What is the meaning of the word notion? Notion means idea. The notion of a routinely planned mass gathering should be done away with. Actually, it is in passive voice or active voice. Yes, numbers always, numbers matter a lot. It is in passive voice. We should do away with something. Something should be done away with, passive voice. And do away with is a phrasal verb. You can say idiomatic expression, but more than idiom, it is a phrasal verb. Do away with something means stop using that, stop depending on that. You depend on something, you use something, you stop using that. We have done away with that policy. We have done away with that product. It means we don't use that product. We have stopped using. Here it is in passive voice, and should talks about what? It has two functions. One, it is used to advise or suggest to someone. Another, it is used to express a possibility, but the chances are less. In this context, advise. We should do away with mass gatherings, casually planned, routinely planned mass gatherings. We should do away with. This is the main idea. Obviously, an editorial like this should start with what happened, where it happened, how many people got killed, and what are the reasons behind. A day apart means 1 day gap. A day apart, two pilgrimages in North India have endured chaos. Important word, endured chaos. A day apart, an important phrase. A day apart means a gap of 1 day. Two major incidents in North India. And what exactly happened? These holy places, sacred places, endured. Endure in this context means to bear, to tolerate, endure pain, endure something, bear or tolerate. Chaos, chaotic situation, you all know. What does it mean? It means confusion. And what exactly happened? 8 people died on the steep stairway. Steep means a sharp stairway to Haridwar's Mansa Devi shrine religious place on July 27th after a rumor spread that a snapped power line was live. How many people died? Where did they die? They died at the location, Mansa Devi Shrine, on July 27th, and on the steep stairway to Haridwar's temple. Steep means sharp, and it goes with valleys. Steep valley means sharp valley. Coming to why did it happen? A rumor. What was that rumor? A rumor spread that a snapped power line, snap means to get cut off. Tree branches, sometimes they fall. Then we say the branch snapped. Wire also gets cut off. Then also we say snapped. Rumor was a snapped power line was live. Imagine a particular power line got cut off, got snapped, and the rumor was that it was a live wire. Live wire has a different meaning as an idiom. Imagine there's a young girl who is very active, social, dynamic, then go get her. Then we say she is a live wire. That meaning is different. Here, electricity is going through that, power is going through that, and that rumor resulted in stampede and 8 people got killed. First incident. The next day, at Avshaneshwar temple in Barabanki, monkeys reportedly damaged an overhead cable. Monkeys. In our country, whenever you go to a temple, usually you come across monkeys, so many of them. Monkeys, they damaged something. Monkeys reportedly damaged an overhead cable, sparking panic. Here, sparking means starting, igniting, igniting or starting, panic, fear. That killed 2 persons. Both the incidents were triggered by fears of electrocution. There's one important word. Today we have traditionally graveyards, burial grounds, graveyards, cemeteries. But modern, if you come to cities, modern lifestyle, we have electric crematoriums. Have you heard of that? Electric crematoriums. And there, what do? They take the dead body inside and they burn the dead body. In the sense, they use electricity. That is known as electrocution. But in this context, electrocution means someone touches a live wire. Immediately that person dies. Then we use the word electrocution. Fear of electrocution. Such hazards, dangers at temples are not new. Now there is a statement. What is a statement? Similar hazards, such dangers are not new. Haven't heard of electric crematorium? Yes, some people, some students have heard of that. Today, big cities, you come across electric crematorium. And after the process, you get only ash, nothing but ash, using electricity. Such hazards at temples are not new. Makeshift wiring draped over stalls. There's one word here, makeshift. Makeshift is something like temporary. You create something temporarily, that is known as makeshift. Makeshift camping tent, makeshift something, shed. And makeshift wiring draped over. Drape means to cover. Yes, that is true. Who is this? Bala Satish Kumar. Deforestation is the reason. Makeshift wiring draped over stalls and overloaded transformers are common sights at melas. When you go to melas, religious congregations, these are common sights. However, neither shrine had an automatic power cutoff or a public address system capable of debunking misinformation. There's one important word, grammar point, if you neither, and you can also say neither. And also, we have one important word, debunking. Neither, neither. Why is it important? We have types of pronouns. One particular type, distributive pronouns. There are three in number, important ones, each, either, neither. And there's an important rule. They always take a singular verb. That you should recollect. Neither nor is a conjunction. However, neither shrine, the religious place, had an automatic power cutoff or a public address system capable of debunking misinformation. In this context, debunking means removing the telling the people what is real and removing the apprehensions or removing that misinformation, making things clear. Debunking misinformation means correcting, telling the public what is right, what is wrong. They did not have these two. The Haridwar probe will almost certainly reiterate older recommendations such as underground cabling and real-time voltage monitoring. Whenever there is an incident that involves loss of life, immediately probe, investigation. And what is it going to tell? This sentence talks about that. The Haridwar probe will almost certainly reiterate. What is the meaning of reiterate? To say something for the sake of making it strong, consolidate, reiterate, strengthen, all the words you should recollect. What does it reiterate? Older recommendations such as underground cabling and real time voltage monitoring. These two are essential. However, the threat is incidental. The threat is based on incident. That means we have to focus on the event, management of the event. That's what the sentence means. Except for two major stampedes in recent memory, in Bangalore and Hyderabad, all such tragedies have occurred at religious mass gatherings or in the course of attending them. The editorial says, except two stampedes that have happened in the recent past, where one in Bangalore, one in Hyderabad, keep them aside. All other similar incidents happened at religious places, religious gatherings. All such tragedies have occurred at religious mass gatherings or in the course of attending them. They occur despite multiple guidelines and court orders due to authorities' collective desensitization to risk. Why do they happen in spite of the fact guidelines are there? This sentence talks about the actual reason behind these incidents. They occur despite multiple guidelines and court orders. Guidelines are there, court orders are there. In spite of that, they do happen. Why? What is the reason behind? Due to authorities. Here we have a plural noun, and if a plural noun ends in the letter S, we should use apostrophe after that. Authorities' collective desensitization to risk. Collective desensitization means being callous. Callous means stony, not sensitive about the risk factor. Together, all of them. On paper, Uttarakhand has a crowd management manual for the Chardham, and the NDMS guidelines say that every event must calculate carrying capacity, stagger entry, an important word, maintain redundant escape routes, and hold drills. Now, when it comes to the government, Uttarakhand government, there's a manual, it seems, a booklet with do's and don'ts regarding event management, and also NDMA's guidelines. Here, on paper, we have something. What do we have on paper? Uttarakhand has a crowd management manual for the Chardham, and the NDMA's guidelines say that every event must calculate carrying capacity. Here, NDMA's guidelines say something. There are four dimensions. They have focused on four. One, every event must calculate carrying capacity. Stagger entry. Stagger has many meanings. One meaning, stagger means to walk in a zigzag manner, not properly balanced. But in this context, stagger entry means different timings for different groups of people. Today, IT people are doing the same thing. Workplace for a particular group, 10 o'clock. Another group, 11. Another group, 12. That is known as a stagger entry. Stagger entry, different time slots, different groups. Third one, maintain redundant escape routes. Redundant means no longer outdated, no longer useful. They have to maintain those escape routes. And the last one, hold the drills periodically. Yet, contrasting word, at Mansa Devi, the stairway that doubles as entry and exit was used without scheduling, and the only alternative route had much lower carrying capacity. This particular thing, what happened? They used a particular staircase, yes, and that acted as entry as well as exit. Same staircase, steep stairway. Doubles as entry and exit was used without scheduling, and the only alternative route had much lower carrying capacity. In Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, the response centered on compensation rather than structural reform. Whenever something like this happens, there are two options. One option, focus on structural reforms. Second option, focus on compensation. Here the editorial says those governments focus more on compensation rather than on structural reform. The NDMA norms mean standards, need to be legally binding with severe consequences for persons, enterprises, or businesses that fail to protect lives. The guidelines should become binding, legally binding, and those who don't follow, those who violate the guidelines, they should be punished in a stringent manner, the editorial says. Stand taken by the editorial. At present, states choose the provisions from the norms, and temple trusts often treat them as optional because pilgrim facilities fall under charitable exemption in many building codes. This is a bit difficult to understand, but what it says, all these, if you take temple trusts, what do they do? At present, states choose provisions from the norms, that is one thing, and temple trusts often treat them as optional. Optional means what? Your choice. You want to implement, you implement. You don't want to implement, you don't implement. Because pilgrim facilities fall under charitable exemptions. Charitable. Charity means donation. Charitable exemptions in many building codes. Routine darshan does not require safety certification, even when daily footfall exceeds that of a sports stadium. Daily footfall means those who enter the temple every day for darshan. It does not demand any certification. And imagine the number, footfall, bigger than that of a sports stadium, still no need of any certification. States also depend on ad hoc volunteers and undertrained guards to manage surges. Suddenly, a lot of people come. Surge, sudden forward movement, one meaning, sudden increase, another meaning. And they don't have the man force, proper man force. They have ad hoc volunteers. Ad hoc means temporary. Undertrained guards to manage surges. However, annual drills mandated under the Disaster Management Act are rarely held for regular worship. Mandated means compulsory. According to disaster management, those drills are not organized often. Annual drills mandated under the Disaster Management Act are rarely held for regular worship, while funds earmarked for permanent infrastructure are often diverted to festivals. The temple trusts have funds and are supposed to spend the funds on infrastructure development. But instead of spending money on infrastructure, they are diverting the funds towards the festivals, it seems. Diverted to festivals. The time has come to eradicate. The word eradicate goes with diseases. Eradicate a particular disease means remove completely. The time has come to eradicate the notion of a simply planned or cheap mass gathering event, religious or otherwise. We have to stop this casually planning a major event. When footfall exceeds a preset threshold, footfall means number of people visiting a particular place. It exceeds preset threshold means in advance they set the threshold means this place can take only 1,000 people. It can take only 2,000 people. Already set. If it exceeds that preset threshold, a single incident command structure must come into effect. We need a single incident command structure must come into effect. Authorities must deploy overhead LIDAR and AI cameras to calculate crowd density with real time alerts to help divert or throttle traffic. There's one important word here throttle. Throttle has two different meanings. One, supply fuel to the engine or accelerate. Earmark means to keep aside. You have 1,000 rupees, 500 earmarked for a particular cause, particular expense, means to keep separately. You have kept 500 separately for a particular thing. You earmarked, and it goes with budgeting. Throttle, another meaning to make someone feel suffocated. Imagine someone catches someone's neck and makes a person get suffocated or feel suffocated, and then we use the word throttle. Finally, states must ensure that venues publish capacity charts at entrances, conduct and live stream quarterly drills to normalize a safety culture, and certify volunteers in basic life support and crowd psychology. These are all suggestions. What are the suggestions from the editorial? The state government should publish the carrying capacity at the venues. That venues publish must ensure that venues publish capacity charts at entrances, conduct and live stream quarterly drills, another thing, to normalize a safety culture, and certify volunteers in basic life support and crowd psychology. Crowd psychology is very important. You never know, unpredictable. And some sort of awareness is important. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got benefited. Tomorrow I'll get the regular pattern. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.